Ah, nosy Bob.
If bad iron shots are ruining your score,
Oh, thin as my granny.
strikes all over the club face,
Oh, chunky monkey.
coming up short of target,
Oh, a new Lucy locket.
then this video is going to change all that. So I'm going to give you 4 powerful drills that I've used throughout my 37-year coaching career to all handicap levels that I know will give you instantly more consistency of strike and more distance. If you want to swing better, think better, score better, and golf yourself to life, subscribe here. To strike the ball consistently, we first need to understand the basic physics of great ball strike. To hit the ball in the sweet spot of the club, first of all, we need to get the leading edge somewhere underneath the equator of the ball. So we're going to hit the sweet spot. That demands that the club is traveling downwards to the ball. And so the low point in the club head swing is going to be at the ball or slightly beyond the ball. So we get this descending blow, which helps us hit the sweet spot, get the leading edge under the equator of the ball and hit the sweet spot. That's what we would call the horizontal low point or the low point on the x-axis. Obviously, if I get the low point before the ball, we're going to hit fats and thins. If we get it at the ball, quite difficult to do, but we're going to get exact strike, rather get a descending blow on the ball, so we have much more chance of hitting the sweet spot. That is the horizontal low point or x-axis of the low point. But to get pure strike is not just getting the horizontal low point in the right place, we need to get the vertical low point in the right place. So there is also a y-axis, how high or low is the club head coming into strike, and there is also, because we work in 3 dimensions, a z-axis, how far away is the club head from my body, closer or further away, is also going to affect whether we hit the sweet spot or not. So in these 4 powerful drills, we're going to deal with 2, the most common faults I see. Control of the horizontal axis. We're going to have 1 powerful drill for control of the y-axis, and we're going to have 1 very simple drill for control of the z-axis to get the physics right and get you puring the ball out of the sweet spot. And stick around to the end. I'll give you a little bonus tip, which is a great feedback to get you instinctively hitting the ball more pure. All right, drill number 1, super simple, but really the starting point for getting control of your horizontal low point. Again, getting the low point at or just beyond the ball. We just make a few swings with the feet together. We can start off just without the ball first. So obviously you can't move too much off your central position to the ball because you're going to fall over. If I go too far right, then we're not be able to keep our balance. So this is just a very good trick to, first of all, and we'll do this in 2 stages, just to get the feeling of being very central to the ball, and you'll be surprised often how good you will hit the ball from here because we're not moving off center. I should just play like that all the time, and that's often the feedback I get from my customers. We get beautiful pure ball strike, again because the horizontal low point, again pretty much opposite where the sternum is. Your low point will be here to here, so sternum, start of low point under the left shoulder where the deepest point of the divot will be. So that just centralizes it. And what I would recommend as stage 2, once you've done that a few times, is just get your speed up a little bit. Because the body's so stable, we can start to create some speed in the hands and arms, and that means getting more leverage and rotation, which as the right arm straightens is going to give you more speed. So we can use this drill not just for pure ball strike, but also to get speed up without losing control of your body. So let's just hit a couple more and get the speed up a little bit. A little bit thin, but lots of speed. You might do that a little bit thin to start with because you may be just hanging on a bit tighter. Let's see if I can hit one that's a little more relaxed. Here we go. Yeah, pured it. Beautiful. Feet together, get your speed up. All right, drill number 2, what I'll call the stomp drill, and really effective drill to stop you hanging back on the ball. Lots of amateur golfers have the sort of feeling, especially with the longer irons, that we somehow got to get the ball up in the air. Disaster. We're getting the horizontal low point further and further behind the ball. So here's what I call the stomp exercise to get you further forward and again get this descending blow on the ball. So I'll show you in slow-mo first of all, and I would do it in slow-mo to start with just until you get the coordination. So as we're just finishing the backswing, we're going to lift the left foot off the ground and stomp it back down again, and you'll see again what I was talking about sternum relative to the ball. We're obviously moving left. We're moving along the x-axis, bringing the low point further forward. So I'll do a couple at full speed, just practice swings. So backswing, stomp. Doesn't necessarily have to be a step forward. We're just trying to load the left side, and loading the left side brings the low point forward. So okay, here we go. And lots of power creation in this move as well. Let me do one first, then we'll talk about the power that it gets. Okay, I've just decided I'm going to hit lots of shots around the golf course next time with feet together, and lots of stompers. All right, so we are getting some lateral force, we are getting some vertical force, and we are getting rotational force, all with one beautiful power move. So let me do one more for you here. Stomp drill. Just take a practice swing. Stomp. And the most important bit is the influence of the horizontal low point coming after the ball. Okay, here we go. The last stomper. Oh yeah, nutted. If you're scrolling through YouTube and not finding the answers to your golfing questions, consider joining me at Buy Me a Coffee. Well, I will personally answer as many questions as you like in video format, and you'll get access to a growing library of the videos that I'm producing to answer those questions for all my customers, all for the tiny price of $10 a month. Okay, so hopefully you've got a bit more control of your x-axis, but not necessarily a control of the y-axis up and down. So the x-axis, as we get farther forward with the low point, definitely gives us the chance of getting the leading edge underneath the equator of the ball, but this could still go wrong. So here's a brilliant drill that solves, I think, the most common problem I see is losing the control of posture on the backswing. Is what I call the T drill. You may have seen this on this channel a few times before, because it's one of the best for a number of reasons, and this reason for controlling your posture. So we're going to point the tee towards your right pocket for as long as possible. And let me talk about the sense of that as far as the y-axis is concerned. What I often see in poor swings is the club starts a little bit flat back, the hands go behind the shoulders. That has the effect of bringing the left shoulder quite high, or a flat backswing, and that pulls your posture out of position, both to the right and up. So here it is from the front. So I'm going to go start too flat, usually too much with the hands or wrists at the start. The left shoulder will come high. I've got nowhere for the left shoulder to go. My head's in the way, so it's just going to pull my head up and right. We got big vertical and horizontal axis problems here. So if we point the tee to the right pocket for as long as we can on the backswing, take away halfway back and 3/4, you'll see that I've got room for the left shoulder to come underneath my chin and not knock me out of my original posture position. So let me show you that again. It's tee to the right pocket, right pocket, right pocket, right pocket, and again I'm keeping my height. Let me show you quickly from the front. So tee to the right pocket, tee to the right pocket, left shoulder is going down, down, down. Much easier to control my height on the backswing and control the y-axis of great ball strike. So here we go. I'm just going to focus on tee pointing to the right pocket on the backswing to get control of my posture on the backswing and control the vertical axis. Yes, exactly. All right, drill number 4, to get more control of your Z-axis, how far the club is away from your body, we use a head cover. You can use a sponge, but you've always got one of these in your bag. So we place that very close, about a ball's width away from the ball on the outside. So particularly if you use socket guys, and I'm going to hit a fairly short shot here because that's where most of the sockets come. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So getting it out the socket of the club, obviously I'm going to hit the head cover as well. So we're just trying to instill instinctively get your Z-axis control by putting something in the way to try and miss and obviously hit the sweet spot as we go past. Let me show you. All right, so the problem with sort of half three-quarter shots is often the arms are very lively and the body's very lazy. So instead of turning for these three-quarter shots, we're just using the arms, and often then the left arm will come on top of your rib cage, stay there, and now the arm is closer to the ball. That means the socket is closer to the ball, so we don't have control of our Z-axis. So we're just trying to hit the ball and miss the head cover to get more control of that left arm. All right, here we go. So three-quarter shot with the pitching wedge. Oh, beautiful. Thanks for sticking around. Here's your bonus tip. You need some of these boys, face tapes, or sometimes I see people using foot spray, a bit messy for me, but there we go. Let's just get the face tape on because we need to get feedback. You need to see what your tendencies are, and the face tape doesn't lie. So I'm just going to hit a couple of shots here to finish up and see if there is a tendency, toe, heel, high, low, and see which drill would be helping me most and helping me the quickest. All right, so here we go. Just hit the first shot down there. Hopefully we'll find the middle of the club face, but you never know. It can change from day to day. All right, here we go. Felt pretty good. It was a good shot. Well, I say tendency middle of the club face. Can't really argue with that. Usually the sweet spot on the club face is sort of fourth or fifth groove. You can get that by the sound of just bouncing a ball on it. Slightly different from manufacturer to manufacturer, and depending on the type of club and the space between the grooves. But that's a pretty good start. So I would just do all my drills to make sure I just really fine tune that, finding the middle of the club face. Let me do one more for you. If we can repeat a middle club face strike, then today is a happy day. All right, here we go. Yeah, also felt pretty good, flew pretty good, and we've pretty much repeated beautifully in the sweet spot. But we need to get this feedback to see which drill you should be concentrating on, X, Y, or Z. Many thanks for watching. If driver's a thing with you and we need to get some improvement there, check out this video.